Okay. What are these things? I'm sort of under the impression that if you know what you're doing, there's probably no point in doing it. And I can't defend that, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to explain how I came to make these figures. I was making these figures. And here I'll put in the two upstairs. And we had a lot of little kids around the house. And the figures were frightening the kids. So I had to come up with an explanation so they wouldn't be scared. And so I said, these figures look scary. Okay? But so does a soldier with all of his gear, his weaponry, his helmet, his body armor. He looks like a big, terrifying thing. So does a police officer. A lot of equipment, uniform, scary. But they're on your side. The point is they're there to protect you. So these creatures look scary, but they're there to protect you. Now I hadn't thought about these things in those terms. I was just making them. They were just kind of common out. But that was the explanation that I came up with for the little children. Because they were like 5, 6, 7, 8. They were little. So I got thinking in terms of protector beings. And I don't want that to be interpreted really strictly as supernatural, because I'm not interested in the supernatural. I'm certainly not interested in recapitulating elements of existing religions or belief systems or mythologies. Although, obviously, elements of human culture show up here. I can't help that. That's not the point. But I was thinking in terms of, I got thinking in terms of protector beings. And these become sort of maybe psychological or subconscious or unconscious, archetypal formations of humanoid, but nuministic is the only word. Nuministic is the only word that I can use to describe what's going on here, because spiritual doesn't work, and anything mystical, cosmic, I have no patience for that, and I don't want to put my energies into supporting any worldview that's other than real. So how are these real? Well, they're real in the sense that human beings come pre-packaged, at least according to Carl Jung, with a set of ideas and images. Sort of. And so these are expressions of that, of what we've got in our heads already, what we're born with. Some kind of terrifying aspect of our own personalities, perhaps, or perhaps maybe parent personalities, where the parent is both terrifying and protective at the same time, where the adults can be frightening, but they can also take care of you. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's one's own fear of one's own unconscious, and that it can do good or it can do evil, but it's very powerful and it's frightening, but ideally, the fact that it's frightening is because it's here, because it's on your side. Now, the other way I've found to look at this is, I don't want an interpretation. I don't like titles for art generally, and certainly not for sculpture, and certainly not for this. So I can't tell you what the title of this body of work is, or what the individual names of any of these things are. Because I don't, and this is not because I quote, want the viewer to decide. I hate artists who fall back on that. It's lazy, and it's stupid, and you're making your viewer do all the heavy lifting. You should know what you're doing, and I do know what I'm doing. But what I don't know is what's going on here. It's clear something's going on here with all these figures. It's obvious something, I would say, big is going on here. But I don't have a clue as to what it is. And I don't think I want to. And I don't think I'd ever figure it out if I set my mind to it, and if I came to a articulable description of what this body of work is, what these beings are. It would feel as if all of this work had been diminished, kind of boiled down, condensed, reduced to a single obvious definition. If you see a painting of a boat on the river, okay, then you know what it is. It's a boat on a river and you can go on. Here, I want to hear as many different gut level reactions to this stuff as I can. So when the little kids were scared, at least I knew I was on sort of a right track. Not that it's that hard to scare kids, but at least that led me to thinking more about a direction, which is, again, protector beings, numinous emergences from the human unconscious that are dangerous, but powerful, and potentially very good, and utterly unknowable, but real. I hope that helps. Thank you for your time.